Hi, this is Shruti.
Hi, I'm Shukti.
Hi, it's Shreeya, and welcome back to Need a Natter.
Yay!
We're back again, we're back again, we're back again, we're back again.
And what have we been up to today?
Since we've last recorded, I have moved flats, even though I'm in the UK and my flat is in Mumbai. The fella has been shifting my things, bless him.
The fella's been useful.
He's been very useful. This is the second time he has moved my flat without me actually being there. Last time I was working, though, to be fair, I couldn't get the day off work. And this time, I'm not even in the country. I've not even seen where I'm moving to.
Yeah, I was going to say, going back's going to be weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be weird. I said to Shreeya, you're going to have to, come and hold my hand or something. But she's like, I can't get time off work.
If no one else understood that ridiculousness, she said, I can't take time off work.
Everybody understood. Anyway, then, so today he gave the keys back, and apparently my old landlady had to hear some words off of him as well for being so greedy, because she wanted to raise my rent 25% when it's supposed to be 10%. So yeah, it's quite a lot.
Ooh.
Anyway, then we went to a local place today to basically talk to a photographer about the wedding. After the meeting was finished with the photographer, Shreeya turns up, and because she got late from work. So then anyway, me, Ba and Shreeya went outside to get back in the car, and guess what? Some insert expletive here.
Nincompoop.
Sure, if that's what describes the guy, decided to block us in, okay? Nicely blocked us in so Bar can't get in the car, and he was illegally parked. Anyway, the people inside the place where we went to meet this photographer wrote a really angry note on his window, and the three of us, meaning me, Bar and Shreeya, were outside this building just waiting for that person to come. Anyway, when he turns up, we asked him, excuse me, you realise had us blocked for an hour? Yeah, it was an hour. We were just stood around for an hour, and he's like, so? He said, so.
He said so, and then we were like, huh? And then he was like, and now what? And I was like, excuse me? Where is this attitude coming from? We should have the attitude here, bro. We should have the attitude.
Yeah.
You need to tone it.
What a lack of manners.
Oof.
Yeah, it was
I literally
bad.
had to ask him, do you not have any self-respect that you're not even going to apologise? You really want to act like a fool? Okay.
Then the guy decided that he's going to be, I'm a hard man, me. Decides to call up his lads, and 8 guys showed up just to kind of keep him company to fight these 2 little girls.
8 guys across 3 different cars. Literally everyone showed up. Imagine. Oof. Sorry, what was our last episode? Toxic masculinity.
This is what we mean when we say that constantly being intimidated by men or men trying to be intimidating towards us.
Yeah.
I don't think we're very easily intimidated.
Trying to being the key word. Anyway, so that happened. Then, obviously, the cops got called. Those guys, after creating a scene with the management, because part of the building also has a gym, so their gym memberships got
revoked. They got banned.
Yes, they got banned from the building. All eight of them. And yeah, cops got called, and then they basically ran away, and we could finally reverse the car.
Serves them right. It should never have to get to that. People should just learn to be polite. If you've made a mistake, just apologise and then can move on from that. To get aggressive, it's just not called for, is it?
It's really not.
But what was nice, I mean, we are saying toxic masculinity here, but what was nice was there was a guy nearby who was sat on a bench just having a drink. When he heard the ruckus that this man was creating, he came over and he was like, were you guys okay? Is he giving you trouble? So on one hand, you get these crazy men. Not just men, people. Because my landlady crazy as well. She crazy as well. But anyway, so you get these crazy people, but then on the other side of it, you do always get these people that do try and help you out in the sticky situations, don't they? That's the nice thing about it. But anyway, that was the end of our day. Then we got home and ate and ate and ate because we were so hungry. It was way past our dinner time, and now...
Well, I won't give you an update on me because it was just a boring, normal day for me. Yeah, moving on to today's topic, we thought we'd cover off something nice considering we had quite a heavy episode in the last episode. We could have gone on talking for another couple of episodes on toxic masculinity because I don't think we even managed to scratch the surface of how deep this runs in everybody's everyday life. There's so much more we could have covered off. If anybody wants to talk more about that, just let us know, talk to us, and we'll We'll do a few more episodes, maybe part 2s and 3s, and let's see where we go with it. But enough of that. Let's talk about something light, something a bit more fun. So today we're going to cover off films we love.
Oh, yeah.
So one of us obviously works in the film industry, but all of us collectively love films.
We love them.
And
Yeah,
I think
we do.
we've been a very film-oriented family since, like, literally we were born.
If we're going to talk about family, I think this predates us. I think this
Yeah,
is
probably.
Since we were born, we've
Yeah.
been watching films since the day we were born, practically.
Yeah.
But yes, our parents are obviously
parents, even our grandparents. You know,
grandparents.
one
Yeah.
of my nicest memories with our grandma on our dad's side, when I first moved to Mumbai on Valentine's Day, the two of us decided to go to the cinema and watch a movie together. And I thought that was
Aw.
really sweet. I still think it's really sweet. The movie was a bit of a miss, but she had a really good time. I had a really good time, and that's what really counts. So we love our cinema.
Yeah, we used to have family outings to the cinema with our grandma as well, which was always very nice. Yeah, so we thought, obviously, because we've got South Asian heritage, I said South Indian in the last episode several times without meaning to say it. I meant South Asian. It's probably the time that we record, it's quite late here. But yeah, South Asian heritage. We were going to cover off a South Asian film and a Hollywood film or an international cinema film. So 2 films that we love, plus a recommended film that you might not have heard of, or a kind of like a hidden gem. So, okay, the first film I want to cover off today, I'll give you a little bit of a background as to why I've picked it, because the films that I've chosen to be my favourite films, or the films I want to talk about today, are not necessarily the best films that I've ever watched in my entire life, but they have a very significant meaning to me. And they are films that if they are on TV, I won't switch the channel. I know them practically scene by scene. I can pick up the story from wherever I started. So it's not like I have to watch them from the beginning to the end. They're not films that I purposefully put on, but if they're on, I will never switch the channel because I'm always like interested to watch these films. So being young in kind of like the 80s, superhero films were really big at the time. So we had things like Superman, even though it was a 1970s series, they used to air on TV a lot in the 80s. And I just remember being very, very young when I watched this particular film and being wowed by it. It's a film that I would never show my children, even though they're a similar age to what I was when I saw it on a VCR back in the day. Oh, let's see if all you Gen Zs know what one of those are. Film nights used to always be like a special occasion. We were allowed to stay up and we were allowed to watch films with our family on weekends, and there was no specific bedtime or anything like that. So it was a superhero Indian film. It's a bit bonkers when you think about it, but it was very well done considering it's an 80s movie, and it was made by an acclaimed filmmaker. He is an international filmmaker now, so you might have seen his films such as Elizabeth. He also made Bandit Queen. He's notorious for leaving films midway, so there's so many other films he could have made. Like he was planning a film called Time Machine. It's of course the legendary Shekhar Kapoor. I also like other films he's been involved with, like Dil Se, one of my favourite films as well. But this film is Mr. India. You didn't know where that was going? My Bollywood favourite film is Mr. India, and I'll tell you why it's like my favourite film, especially that time period. And it's a film that I never skip, and it's because when I watched it, I was a kid, and there are lots of kids in the film.
Yeah.
It's got a kind of like an underdog story involving the kids as well, because the underdog hero of the film, if you like, his responsibility is looking after these orphan children. And I kind of felt like I was part of the story as well, because I was like, yes, I want these kids to win. And it had the most amazing villain.
Yeah.
Called Mogambo.
Mogambo.
And it was amazing. It must have been very scary at the time. Maybe this is why I'm quite thick-skinned when it comes to fear and why I can handle fear quite well, because I was subjected to this as a kid. This villain is the villain of all villains. He literally chucks people who have not done their job right. So he's probably the worst boss to have ever. He literally chucks them in acid, in boiling acid. He's got like the special button that presses and it opens up, and then you get chucked in, and you can just see their skulls rising to the top at the end. But it's kind of like the behind the scenes stuff that I found really, really intriguing when I grew up and found out a little and kind of got interested in the world of filmmaking. It was like, how did they do all of this? Because it was done without any special effects. And you've got things like doors opening on their own, which I remember thinking about this when I was a kid. I was like, they must have done that with the string and open the doors. But the one thing I didn't quite get, it's about the superhero's super strength is that he can turn invisible. The thing that fascinated me the most was when Mr. India goes to Mr. Gaitonde, is that how I'm pronouncing his name right, into his office.
Oh yeah.
And he sits on a chair and you see the chair compress and he starts drinking a bottle of Coke and you can see the bottle of Coke going down. And I was like, wow, this is fascinating. But I found out recently how they did that.
Oh, how?
They had the assistant director, Satish Kaushik, RIP, he was an amazing comedic actor. He was an assistant on the film and he sat on the chair to compress it and they reversed the shot.
Oh.
So that's how they got that shot, apparently.
I don't know about you, but like when you think back to that, the bit where he sips the drink, can you hear the background music as well? Like, is it that embedded in your head as well? Because I was just thinking about it and I can hear the music.
Yeah.
It's so specific. It's really good.
We actually watched a different version of the film to the film that was perhaps the director's cut, or the film that was the complete version of the film rather, because we watched the Channel 4 cut version in the UK and that's the version we had. But I do prefer the Channel 4 cut because it was slightly faster paced and it cut out a lot of the violence towards the end of the film as well. It's mainly that cut that I want to try and find that cut somewhere because I think maybe that'd be a bit more suitable for my kids. It's a really fun film. I can't wait to watch it with the kids. Not quite old enough yet. They do like a song from the film. My kids are obsessed with Hava Hawaii. They're obsessed with that. They're obsessed with the costume changes. Honestly, if anyone hasn't seen this film, I think it still holds up quite well. I don't think it's dated as much as an 80s film could be dated. And I think a lot of it's to do with how cleverly they did the sequences and they really thought it through and everything. So that's my Bollywood film done.
Yeah, so I just saw Mr. India not that long ago. I'd probably say in January. So we're talking like 5 months ago. No, 6 months ago I saw it last. And that was after about 6 or 7 years, I'd probably say I'd seen it. And obviously there's parts that you kind of think, oh, you know, it's dated a bit funny here and whatever, you know, especially when they're throwing kids about and stuff that you probably can't do anymore.
Oh, well, yeah, you can't get away with that anymore.
But, like, literally throwing kids about. But I did cry watching it. Like, it still twanged at the same heartstrings. Yeah. And I think this is a new development that I've become a crier watching films because I wasn't before. In life, I cry all the time.
Ballin'.
Yeah, man. In movies, I don't really. But no, Mr. India really did it. I cried twice, I have to say, not just once.
I cry when I see the children crying when something happens to Tina.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what. That bit really gets me in the feels. But then another film made me cry recently, which came unexpected.
Mom!
Oh my god, another one!
Apologies, we have to take a bit of a break because there's a reenactment of the cockroach scene, and go watch it if you haven't watched it because it's literally hilarious, exactly how we would react if we saw a cockroach, but there was no cockroach, there was a spider. And as you know, we are petrified.
And it was where I was sitting. That is me, Shukti, where Shukti was sitting. I just saw it from the corner of my eye, like dash across the room, and I yelled for my mother. It's late, and she's having her me time, and she didn't hear me. Like, I think the whole neighbourhood heard me. They're going, "Mom, spider!" But anyway.
On that note, go watch the film if you haven't. But let's switch to the next person.
Yes, that's me. So, my film that I'm going to talk about isn't my favourite film, but it's like top 3. So my favourite Hindi film is Tanu as Manu 2. Okay. I love that film, but I feel like people don't get it the way I get it, because I don't know why I get it so much. I love that film. But the film that I'm going to talk about today is Bahubali 2.
That's come as a surprise.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because I would have put that more as a Shreeya thing.
It is a Shreeya thing, but it's not just a Shreeya thing because I've seen it. I've rinsed that movie out really badly. But I have to say that Shreeya's the one that forced me, like, forced me to watch Bahubali 2 when it came out. I was not into the look of Bahubali 1. I ignored all the why did Katappa kill Bahubali. I just thought, what is this nonsense? I don't know what these words mean.
No, it was a genuine thing, man. It was literally like...
Yeah, I didn't understand what a Katappa is, what a Bahubali is, what all these words are. I didn't know what they meant, so it didn't really strike me as interesting. And the look of the film, for some reason, the look of the film just wasn't for me. Bahubali 1 I'm talking about. Then, just a couple days before release, Shreeya forced me, like If she had a weapon, it was on my throat. If she had one.
Anyone who knows me in person knows that I can be like this sometimes.
I saw Bahubali 1 first, and I'll be honest, right? I know everybody raves about the film. The first half, I was relatively bored. So I'd gone in with this kind of, that mood that, oh man, she's forcing me to do this. I don't really want to do it and whatever. I liked some things, like I liked, the beginning where he puts, I'm sure everybody's seen Bahubali. If you haven't watched it, then please watch it. In Bahubali 1, when he puts the shivling under the waterfall, I love that bit. But then the whole climbing of the waterfall and being obsessed with this woman, like, it just gave me the ick a little bit. So that wasn't for me. It is what it is. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Like the stalking behavior, the obsessiveness, that's just not for me. But then afterwards, when they revealed Dev Sena's face, I'm like, whoa.
Woo!
What is going on? And then when the whole action sequence that happens in with the rain, and it's the first time Katappa sees Bahubali's face,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bahubali Jr.'s face, and that whole dramaticness of the slide on the knees, and oh my gosh, then onwards I was hooked. And then obviously when Katappa says that I'm the one that killed Bahubali, I was also like, why did Katappa kill Bahubali? And then lucky for me, I saw the movie, Shreeya forced me, just before the sequel came out. I watched Bahubali 2 literally just I had to wait 2 days, 2 or 3 days to find out why Katappa killed Bahubali.
Do you hear that, everyone? She waited 2 days. 2 days. How long did the rest of us wait? Oh my lord.
And then when I saw Bahubali 2, and I saw it in India a couple episodes ago, I told you guys about the cinemas in India, the ones that are a bit more cost effective, where they have 1,000 seats and people go crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like a stadium, it's like a concert, the vibe. Bahubali 2 created the snooty cinemas. Like I went to a more expensive cinema with like comfortable seat and whatever. That same concert experience, stadium experience, like watching a football match, cricket match experience happened in that snooty, expensive cinema that I went to. Every Bahubali's entry, everybody was cheering and whistling, and it was electric. The environment, it was so amazing. I'm looking at Shreya's face now, and she's like, wow.
Because I wish I had seen it like that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I wish I did. I would have been all
Yeah.
there with everyone else. Like, oh, I love it.
When I've seen the film, obviously it gives the whole explanation about Kadapa, why he killed Bahubali, which I think the reasoning could have been stronger. I still think that a little less than what would have been perfection, according to me. However, like I said, top 3 movies of all time, I think. But, to be the one that takes out Bahubali, for Kadapa to be that person, was that reasoning enough? Can you relate to that? I don't know. I did in the moment. I do when I watch the film. I believe it when I watch the film. It's in hindsight that I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe there should have been something else, like they had the wife hostage or something. But aside from that, I find it to be quite reminiscent of one film, which is The Lion King, and the other one, which is Mahabharat. So these two things, and everyone loves Lion King, the whole revenge thing, that, the kid comes back and takes revenge for the dad, and then with the Mahabharat thing, it's the same thing, like these two brothers being pitted against each other over a kingdom, and one of them wanting to take the other one out. And Bahubali 2 is epic. Even though it did get some criticism about the climax action, if you guys have seen it, when they bend the palm trees back and catapult themselves onto the palace, a lot of people said was ridiculous, and it probably is, but I don't care. I love it when I'm watching it. I love it in the moment. I love everything about that film. I love when he flies into the air and he turns into like a little Bahubali Pokemon.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Pokemon,
But you know what bit I mean when I say that.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean.
And after what Shreya said about, you can hear Mr. India's BGM when you're talking about the scenes.
Yeah.
Bahubali as well, you can hear the BGM.
Yeah.
Aside from the character Bahubali, which obviously you love Bahubali Senior in particular, then Bahubali Junior, but then you also love Dev Sena.
So much.
She is amazing.
Oh my God.
I want to say something here.
Mm.
Do you remember when we used to do those quizzes over lockdown?
Yeah.
We were all asked to say who our role model was, and everyone said their mum, and I said this, and I want to be her when I grow up.
I think it's rare to see such a strong female character in a mainstream film like
Yeah.
that, especially one that's about the masculine energy. Because let's face it, Bahubali is about Bahubali, right?
Yeah.
And his son.
I don't think the makers have actually said this, but it's quite evident that the character is based on Draupadi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite evident, you know, outspoken. She calls it out.
Yeah.
She sees something going wrong. She's saying it. It was Draupadi means Sita, actually, because she was a warrior as well. She had all that training, and no, it was epic. You guys tell me in the comments if you feel the same way about Bahubali
You better.
as I do, and obviously as Shreeya does.
You better.
Okay, Shukti, I was just going to mention one of the things that you said that you found quite airy-fairy was like going up the mountain. Ironically, that's something that, well, my kids haven't watched the film because obviously Bahubali 1 or 2 are just not suitable for children, similar to Mr. India. But my children love the up the mountain kind of sequence. I mean, it's the only thing that they've seen from the film, but they love it. Like, they want to watch it repeatedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it was made for a different audience too.
I don't think it was made for a different audience. I think it was, I mean, it's shot lovely. Like there are parts of Bahubali 1 which I think haven't been shot that nicely. I just think the story really captivated everyone.
Yeah.
Like there's been major VFX issues in that film, and there's a lot of places where the shots just aren't that pretty. However, that sequence obviously is taking a child into like a fantasy land.
Yeah.
But as an adult, from the adult perspective, you're seeing a guy chasing this girl who's running away.
Yeah.
That is what it is. And that is something that we have, not us, but I mean society has spoken about quite strongly about how stalking in South Asian films has been romanticized.
Yeah.
So obviously now that I see it, it gives me
The
ick. Like I said, it gives me the ick. I don't like it. I don't find it romantic. I find it a bit gross, really. Had there just been like he's just curious as a explorer as to what's on top of that waterfall, and he went up with that motivation, obviously that wouldn't have been as romantic. You know, the fact that he's visualized this girl's face accurately based on a generic piece of wood with some eye holes cut out, and he's visualized exactly her face seems a little, you know, blah. So I mean, had Shreeya not recommended it so strongly to me, I would have probably switched it off after about 20 minutes or something.
I think the second half of the first film, our jaws were on the floor, and I was like, now I get it.
Yep.
Now I get it.
You have to really stick with it.
You have to stick with it for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I spent Christmas Day with you like that.
Oh, you're welcome.
But anyway, shall we move on to the next one now? So
It's nice.
I don't know what this one could be, because I would have expected her to say Bahubali. Now this is like pure suspense.
Okay, you should really know this because it's one that I talk about so much. Okay, so I don't know if we've ever spoken about this before, but I'm really into psychology, aren't I? I've studied it extensively. So I'm always really intrigued about the human brain and things that are unexplainable, including supernatural things. If you haven't heard our paranormal, she's figured it out, our paranormal episode and all that kind of stuff. Like, I like spooky things. I like comedy things. I like psychology things. I love psychological thrillers, all that kind of stuff. So, this one is very close to my heart. And like Didi said before, like Mr. India's for her, I know this like word for word. I can watch it and say, I try not to annoy people, but I can say like every dialogue of this film. Pulpalaya. No one come at me for my pronunciation, okay? I was born here. I'm not as good as these two. Like, I'm sorry, I really try. But do not come for me. That is, the one for me. I absolutely love this film. So it starts off like just setting the scene. It's based off in this mansion that is supposedly haunted and has been haunted for, I don't know if it's centuries, but just a very long time. And it belonged to like a royal family. It's like a palace that's haunted, and it's supposed to be that anyone who is seated on the throne during that time ends up being targeted by these hauntings if they are in that palace. And because of that, the family that are there, they kind of stay near the palace and they own it, but they don't have anything to do with it. And it's a specific floor which they call, is it the Sri Manzil? I'm becoming very anglicized now. Yes, the third floor is like out of bounds because they had apparently at one time the hauntings had got so bad while the family was living there that they called in a priest and all these people that are like exorcist type people, and they try and like get the spirit or the ghost that is haunting the palace up onto the third floor and like keep it there. And then it kind of starts rolling off where the supposed new heir who was living abroad at the time comes back with a brand new bride, and she just so happens to be really interested and intrigued by this. And what does she do? She opens the locked boundary to the third floor, and the hauntings begin again. Ooh.
And
So
of
it's
course,
really cool. But then, like, it sounds like just like, oh, it's a horror movie, you know, all that kind of stuff. But it's so much more than that. It keeps you so on the edge. And honestly, I haven't actually watched it with anyone who has figured it out before you figure it out, you know, like before they actually reveal it to you, what it is that's going on. But it is a psychological thriller. There's so much more going on in the whole thing. But at the same time, and I know this is Shukti Didi's favourite bit, is like closer to the intermission where Akshay Kumar comes into it. That from there onwards, I know is her favourite part, because then it kind of brings out more of the comedy side to it, while the whole storyline continues to build and things get more mysterious and more spooky, and you start getting more and more confused about what is it that is going on. Like, who is this Manjulika? Right? So Manjulika is the ghost, is the spirit who is supposed to be haunting the palace. And she's supposed to be really scary, and they are people who have been traumatized by her within the story. That there's one girl who was so freaked out, was so spooked, that she was permanently like lost her voice. She lost the ability to speak because she was that shocked by her experience that she had. Her trauma did that to her. So, you know, as the story builds, there's also this comedy aspect of it, but it keeps you thinking all the time. And then what I love even more is that, so we're all three of us are classically trained. And so is Manjulika. How nice. How nice. She also likes to have a little dance about and a little sing a song in the middle of the night and spook everyone out. She puts on her bells on her feet, she puts on her gungru, and then dances around and sings Ami Jai Tumar around the palace.
Chun chun chun.
Everyone. Chun chun chun. I love that part. Vidya Balan. She is the reason I learned how to do knee spins, because that was so cool.
I did not know that.
That was so cool. I was like, I want to be able to do that, man. Seriously, since I saw that in cinema, I went with Shruti Didi to go and see it. I don't remember how old I was.
You were young, but you were old enough to watch it.
I was definitely old enough to watch it.
So you weren't as young as my kids.
But I was definitely spooked. But when I saw her, Manjulika, finally dance, I was just gobsmacked. I was like, oh my God, you know, this is strange that I have role models like this. But I was like, I want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be.
No, it's actually really well done, isn't it? That entire sequence is really well done, actually.
It's so well done. I'm obsessed. And then I'm really sorry, I do not know his name. The dancing man. I don't know the dancing man. He's the same one who is in the original of it, because like the Hindi version is a remake of it, which is the one that I first watched. But there is another one that I think it was, what was it made in?
I think it was Malayalam version. There's a Telugu version, I believe.
Yeah, so in that version, he is also the dancer in that. And it's obviously because they couldn't find anyone better, because he is incredible. He's
a really
like,
good dancer.
I think
sharp.
He is actually a dancer, more like he's not an actor. He's not a
Rather
working
than an
actor.
actor, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Because I stumbled across his Instagram not so long ago, and it was just full of like dance. So I should have sent it to you. I forgot.
Oh yeah, please do send it to me. Oh, how cool.
I'll have to find it again now. I can't remember what the account was.
Yeah.
But it was all full of dance stuff as
Yeah.
opposed to acting work. So I assumed that maybe he's a full-time dancer.
Yeah.
He's very good.
He is very
He's very
good.
good.
So like, just watch it, please, because it's so good. I can't say anything more, but my God, you will love it.
It's very entertaining.
It's so entertaining. There's so much to it.
Can we just talk about the decline of the series?
I've not seen the other two parts, to be honest, though, because again, like Shreya said, I really thought the first part was quite well done. So I've not watched any of the prequels either. So I've not watched the originals, if you like, the original few that were made before the Hindi version. I've just watched the Hindi version, and then I refuse to watch part 2 and part 3 because I don't want to ruin part 1.
So part 2 and part 3 are no longer psychological thrillers. They are now just I'm saying just horror comedies, because it seems like there isn't a lot of thought that's been put into the writing the way the first part was written.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, part 2 and part 3 don't hit the mark, even though, again, the casting's spot on. Part 2 had a fab cast, part 3 had a fantastical cast. However, it just doesn't even, not even a little bit. And what I have to say is that part 1's Ami Jai Tumar like hit it out of the park. Like
Yeah.
amazing choreography, amazing execution. Part 2 had 3 Amidjithamars or 4 Amidjithamars,
Yeah.
and none of those 4, any of them did any justice to the original.
No.
And the worst thing is the third part, Amidjithamar, which had 2 actresses in it. Everybody knows there was Madhuri Dixit and Vidya Balan. Vidya Balan was also in the original, but somehow it just didn't. And I was looking forward to it so much.
Yeah.
I remember calling Shreya and being like, "Oh, Amidjithamar's out. Let's do like you do Bharatanatyam, I'll do Kathak," because I mean I do both. Shreya's trained in Bharatanatyam and I've taught her a little bit of Kathak, but not that much. But I thought it'd be like a nice little dance off kind of thing that we could do. But then when I saw it, it just killed the ambition of wanting to,
It really did.
But it is what it is. At least we still have the first part.
We still have the first part, and honestly, I like any day off that I have, and I have time to watch a film. That's the one that I put on.
Yeah.
That is the one that I put on. I can watch it every day for the rest of my life, and I will never get bored. Honestly, I love it so much.
I think that's one thing that's universal in the 3 films that we've chosen, in the sense that they are for every mood.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what kind of mood you're in, you'll get into it. The next film I'm going to talk about is a Hollywood film, and it's a family film again, because I love family films and I like older family films, and this is an older family film. And it's from what I would term as my golden years of my exposure to Hollywood. It's another kind of event film. It's something I watch every single Christmas, and it's something I can watch with my family. Can anyone guess what it is?
Home Alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
The most quotable film ever. I love it. I love it. I love it. So the first part is the best in my opinion. I do like Lost in New York as well, but I do Home Alone is brilliant. I like all the characters, even the annoying ones. I obviously love the 2 thieves. I think they're really entertaining in their own way as well. And I think I wanted to be Kevin as a kid, because I remember when it came out and he's like, I'm 8 years old, and I was 8 at the time that I saw it as well. So I never saw it at the cinema. I saw it slightly delayed. But I remember being 8 and I was like, oh, he's the same age as me and look what he's doing to protect his house. I want to set some booby traps. And he was just like my child idol, if you like. I was like, I want to do whatever he's done. I love the fact that the way he tricks them with the film that he puts on, the old black and white film, when the poor pizza guy who he terrorizes, I just love it. It's just so good and it's so watchable, and like, keep the change, you filthy animal. Things like that are just so quotable. Everybody obviously has watched this film, so I mean, so I don't want to go into it too much or talk about it too much, but it's just such an all-round feel-good movie.
Yeah.
And they don't make them like that anymore. I find it very, very hard to find a film that's going to be entertaining for the children and me. There's either like, Disney movies that are more catered towards the children, especially a lot of the superhero films. They're all 12As, so they're catered to slightly older kids. But there's nothing that's like that sweet spot that like is universal. And I think Home Alone was that universal film that little kids can watch it. Although I must admit, my little daughter did get scared, but she gets scared watching Frozen, so there's no helping that one.
Yeah.
It's that universal feel-good movie that always makes me smile, and it has to be watched every Christmas.
Oh, 100%.
That it does.
Yeah.
Home Alone is where you start. Well, it's where I start.
And again, like I said, I could just put it on at any time from any point and watch it, and I would never change the channel. I'll be like, oh yeah, Home Alone's on. And I wanted a tree house. I always wanted a tree house with a zip line, and we never had a tree that was big enough.
I was just trying to visualize that zip line.
I visualized it on the zip line.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, listen. A bit of context. I'm not the most graceful person. I'm very clumsy. So I think that's why it generates this kind of crazy image in your head. But in my mind, I was doing fantastic on that zip line.
All right, so my film that I want to talk about isn't really just a film, it's a series of films, okay? So clearly I like sequels. In fact, one of our aunts asked Shreya recently, or was it did recently?
It was me.
It was you, innit? That why does she like sequels so much? I don't necessarily like sequels. This is not a fair representation of my life. Just because I like Tanu Weds Manu 2, Bahubali 2, and now the next one that I'm going to talk about is Rocky.
Yay!
So I like all of them, I have to say, bar Rocky 6, because Rocky 6 made me feel really sad. I couldn't deal with it. So I'm pretending that didn't exist. But Rocky 5 is where I draw the line with okay, this is the maximum I can handle with bad stuff happening at Rocky. But that fight that he had at the end of it, that was epic. I love the fight in Rocky 5. But Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4 were so inspirational. They were like, I absolutely love watching those films. And I've got such good memories attached to those films as well, because I remember watching them at uni with a group. And whenever I've watched it with a group, people are always really affected by it in a positive way, that they want to go, they want to train, and that music, again, the BGM.
Yeah.
How can you not want to get up? I mean, even Did's little girl, even she likes to do her training. I don't know what for exactly, but she likes to do her training, and she'll start training in like doing lunges, and bless her, like she's like really trying to do her training. And it's all because of watching Rocky train. She's not seen the film. I put on the montage just to inspire them, and it worked, to inspire the kids, and it
It
worked.
makes
And
so much sense because I've been talking about it for the past couple of days, and I was like, Rocky, do you mean the dog from Paw
Paw
Patrol?
Patrol.
But obviously, that's not what they're talking about.
like last week, I made them watch the montages of Rocky training from Rocky 1 to 4.
Now
Okay.
it makes sense.
Yeah. They've been loving it really.
She was
And
going, I'm doing my training. I'm doing my
I'm doing my
training,
training.
Shukamasi.
Yeah, I'm doing my training. So Shreya and I, like, we went to play badminton in the park or tennis in the park. We played both on different days. I can't remember
Different
which
days,
one it
yeah.
was. But on one of the days, Did's little girl, she's like, you guys play, I'm going to do my training. And she was doing lunges and press ups and squats. But I love Rocky. I love the relationships in it. I love his loyalty towards Adrian. I love the way Adrian is that rock beside Rocky the entire time. I love that he then makes friends with Apollo Creed,
Yeah.
and then Apollo trains with him. I love the whole, Mr. T angle. Rocky 3 was
Rocky
amazing.
3 was so good.
Yeah.
He is amazing. And then obviously Rocky 4, which I do find, even when I saw it, the first time I saw it was when I was at uni. So obviously a lot later than it released. Like, I don't know, I don't know how many years after it released, but a really long time after it released, I saw it. And even then, it was a little problematic with some of the themes. The whole America versus Russia angle that there was. That was
Yeah.
a bit of a problem. And then they touched on Drago's character taking performance enhancing substances,
Yeah.
which you know what I'm talking about. So they kind of touched on those topics, but they didn't go into it more, which would have been interesting. In Rocky 4, when they were showing Rocky training, they were also showing Drago training, and Drago was coming out stronger. So I get that Rocky wasn't about being the strongest person, it was about how much you're able to take. That's what the character was about. But I felt like the Drago one pushed the limits a little bit, especially because of what happened with Apollo Creed just before that.
Yeah.
So I feel like it went a little extra, which is how sequels end up going. And this was the fourth part.
Yeah.
It wasn't the second, it was the fourth. So obviously it was going to go a little haywire. Another thing that I really love about this is the whole, Sylvester Stallone's personal story that comes alongside Rocky, that he was like broke. I think he was in his 30s, and he wrote the story of Rocky, and he had this dog with him, and he had to sell the dog to be able to make ends meet. When once Rocky was afloat, when somebody greenlit that script, he got the dog back.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just such a wholesome story. And then also he directed Rocky 2, 3, and 4, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool
It
that,
is.
somebody who's, and you know what else? He stayed true to the character. The character Rocky is completely different to the person Sylvester Stallone, right? Because you think Sylvester Stallone, you think this kind of like solid human who's, tough and whatever. And then Rocky's a sweetheart, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's like really soft and really cute and really sweet. He's very innocent. The character Rocky is very innocent, right?
Quite
So
chill.
he's quite, so yeah, so I really love this character. I really love this film. And people who haven't seen Rocky, please do it, and you will probably want to go run a marathon with all the adrenaline it pumps in your body.
Just as inspiring as it is to watch Home Alone and wanting to buy that house because I still want to buy it.
Yeah.
That's
Well, they've
true.
redone it now, so I don't know if you'd still want
Oh
it.
gosh,
They've
yeah.
refurbished
I
it.
didn't like the new aesthetics, I'll be
No, not
honest,
all.
but I'd probably put it back to how it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Shree's your turn.
Because we didn't tell each other about what we were going to pick, so it's just so happened that, you know, we're talking about a lot of franchises now. But what can you do? It is what it is, right? So I'm really into my action. I really like my action film. It turns out not many people do. I ask people about what movies they like quite often, and I don't hear many people say action, but I'm really into them. I don't care if something is realistic or not. That's not why I watch movies. Okay, I'm trying to escape reality over here. I would like things to be as ridiculous as possible. But this one is also really inspiring, and it's the one that I want to talk about today, which is na 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 na.
Batman!
Oh yeah.
What? I would have put all my money on Harry Potter.
I was going
Batman.
to, but that's more of a book that I
Yeah.
like to read.
Especially because she said series. I was like, Harry Potter.
Okay, Harry Potter was definitely on there, and to be honest, so was Shrek. Like all of them.
But Shrek 2
Shrek
comes
2
out on top.
specifically is the one that I go to straight away because it's just
Oh,
absolutely
I'm a
brilliant.
Shrek 1 person.
I'm a Shrek 2
Really?
person. I just love the
Shrek
whole fairy
2.
godmother, Prince Charming stuff.
Yeah.
And the potions and like the all fairy tale characters getting to like, oh, I just love it. Yeah.
And the fairy godmother can sing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She has
And
a good party.
yeah, Shrek 2 has like the best songs in it. I need a
Yeah.
hero. That is amazing. Anyway, hello. I was talking about Batman over here, man. You guys really had me sidetracked. Anyway, yeah. For me specifically, it's The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Right? Like Batman for me kind of sets the world. Dark Knight Rises kind of like ends it all nicely. You get a lot of build up. You see how bad things can get, and you know him really doing the most he can do when he's literally like falling apart and everything goes wrong. He still managed to power through for the greater good and like really get through there. But Dark Knight is just the one for me. I love it so much. This is again something that I've watched so often. It was a movie that I literally studied. So you know, like when you do English lit and you'll read a book and you'll never read it again because you've had to completely dissect it and break out every meaning. But I did that for The Dark Knight in college. I still love it. Like I could watch it all the time. And again, we're talking about background
What
music.
subject was that?
Media studies.
Oh, was it? I didn't even know you did that.
I
I
had to
forgot.
watch it like numerous times all the way through and completely dissect everything, the representation of the characters, the representation of race in characters, the the different shots that were being taken, why they were being taken that way, the dialogue, the music. Like we completely dissected the way that this movie was made and everything about it, and I still love it. So yeah, we're talking about background music a lot today as well. Christopher Nolan. Oh, your movies have good background music. Really good background music. Like, oh my goodness. This movie is so impactful. It is really inspiring. And it has the Joker in it.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And what a performance.
What a performance.
What a performance. Oh my golly gosh.
He was absolutely incredible. Like, I think everyone, when they saw it, were just like, man, if there was another one that could be made after that with him in, with Heath Ledger, that would have been great. But unfortunately, that was not to happen. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine no one has seen this because it is absolutely brilliant. It's so brilliantly made.
It's iconic for its performances.
It really is. It's so brilliantly done story wise, but then also like how Batman evolves as a character. The shift from him in the first movie to the Dark Knight is huge. It's a massive leap. There's like a huge development. There's so much more fun gadgets that come out as well. Like you have his Batmobile. You have what was his rum motorbike thing called?
Batbike?
Batbike.
I don't know.
Are we
I
just
just
making
made
these
that
up
up.
now?
I don't
But I
know.
really like that. Like, that was so cool. The way that it
That
like
was
breaks
cool.
out of the Batmobile. And
Yeah.
you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, that's amazing. And his cape is wicked
Epic.
when he's on that bike as well, with the wing goes behind him. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. There was so much to that, and there was so much intelligence behind the Joker's character as well. You know, like his reasoning for doing things was literally just because he likes to watch the world burn. He describes himself as a dog that's chasing a car, and he doesn't even know what he'll do when he gets it. He just wants to run after it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he enjoys the chase, and he wants to continue that chase with the Batman forever. He was like, the end part is like, me and you are destined to do this forever. It's like something like that is one of his last lines, and it's just like so amazing. Again, the psychology behind the Joker, and then the impact that, you know, Batman's childhood traumas had on him as well. Like, everything is just amazing.
Yeah.
But then also, oh, this is it. Here we're linking into Harry Potter here because we have a mutual actor.
Yes, we do.
Who is it? Gary Oldman. Hello, Gary Oldman. Sirius Black in one.
Sirius Black.
Sirius Black. If no one's noticed that, now you know. Gary Oldman plays the cop who not saves Batman because he didn't save him, but is there
Jim
with
Gordon.
Is Jim Gordon, yes. He's with Batman as a child when he loses his parents. He's a character throughout the story anyway. But yeah, same actor is Sirius Black in the third Harry Potter movie. Now you know, if you didn't. It took me a few years, I'll be honest, and then I was like, if you put a beard on him,
he does not
Sirius
look the
Black.
same. He does not look the same
Not
at
at
all.
all.
He's got Sirius Black and Jim Gordon, different people.
Yeah.
There's no comparison whatsoever. And do you know what I just have to say about Heath Ledger's makeup? The way they did his makeup, I know it's such a minor thing, but the fact that it wasn't perfect. So in so many of the scenes, it's like coming off a bit because he's got sweaty or he's in lockup or whatever, and it's all coming off a little bit. I loved because before that, I think they did make it all the Joker characters that had come before. It was a bit more perfect.
Yeah.
The makeup was, and
Yeah.
they just let him be insane.
Yeah.
He looked very unhinged.
Yeah, unhinged is the best word actually to describe him.
This just reminds me of another part in The Dark Knight that was absolutely amazing. And I'm sure loads of people have seen this because I think this went viral on the internet, like how cool this bit was. But I'm sure everyone remembers that scene of the explosion at the hospital and the Joker walking away, and he's dressed in that nurse's outfit.
Yeah.
Right? And he's looking a little bit disheveled there as well. But he's got the button to make the explosion happen behind him. And it's just like a very small boom. And he's like, oh, is that it? Is that all that's happening? And then he keeps pressing the button. And then all of a sudden there's a massive boom. And he gets into the back of the school bus and it drives off. Yes, it's a school bus. Just watch the movie if it doesn't make sense when I'm saying that. Just watch it. Right? But it turned out that it actually malfunctioned and it was like a genuine reaction. But they had to do it in one shot because they couldn't just do that explosion again. That wasn't going to be a retake. So he just kind of had to go along with it. But when you realise that and you watch it again, it's like, wow, he is good. He is
he didn't break
good.
character.
He didn't break character. Like, how many people can pull that off? Like, that is incredible.
It's fab. That film was fab. Shall we plod on?
Plod in.
A film that many of you might not have seen and is like a highly recommended film. So I was going to go with a couple of options for this, but I've got a feeling that the option I was going to pick, a lot of people have already seen it because it did a lot of event circuits and things like that. So I've oscillated to a different one, and this is last minute, so let's see if this works. There are very, very few genuine horror movies when it comes to Bollywood. Very few.
I don't know where this is going.
Shucks, I can see your face. You look terrified already. I'm so sorry about this.
So not horror.
They're very few. And the one that caught me by surprise, and I think that's why I've picked this over like Hollywood films, because I love a lot of Hollywood films and I think they're really well made. And I wouldn't say this film is particularly, artistically brilliant or anything like that. But there's literally 3 characters, 1 house, and you have no idea who the killer is.
I know what it is now.
It's gone. Don't open that door. Literally.
Yes. Oh my God.
Right?
Yes.
So it is amazing the fact that this film was even made. It flopped apparently really badly. It didn't do very well at all. But
No.
But it's I think it's quite iconic, the fact that it was made by a director who was at his prime then. It was made by a bunch of people who were all in their prime then, because I think Anurag Kashyap was involved as well. And then obviously we've got Ram Gopal Verma, who was the director of the film. We had 3 really good actors acting in the film, very convincingly. Manoj Bajpayee is a stranger who appears at the house of a young, vulnerable woman. So without giving away too many spoilers, you've got kind of like a TV report that's suggesting that there's a serial killer on the loose, and there's a woman at home by herself, and she's really, really scared. She's talking to her mum on the phone, and there's a knock at the door on a very stormy day. And there's a stranger at the door insisting that he wants to come in and meet a certain Mr. Malhotra, was it?
Yeah.
The girl's insisting there's no Mr. Malhotra. And then you're like, what is going to happen with this film? I would say if I was to change the film now, I'd probably change the pacing a little bit, because I think the initial part is very, very kind of slow. I can understand why they did certain shots the way they did it.
Yeah.
To kind of build up the paranoia. And in retrospect, when you watch the end of the film, you kind of understand why it's like that. But I think if it was being made now, it'd be a much shorter film.
Yeah.
And I think people have more of an appetite for horror now. But I think at that time, they didn't. And I think it's perhaps not a true horror in the sense that it doesn't have like the spirit element or anything like that. It's more psychological. But
It's a thriller, isn't it, really?
It's a thriller, but it's not like Bull-esque, but where the film was very multi-dimensional in the sense that it had comedy as well. This film is not comical at all. It's really
Suspenseful.
kind of, it's suspenseful, but then you've got this entire paranoia that builds, because the girl keeps looking at the knife and she's like, hold on a second, did I move that knife or did someone else move that knife?
Yeah.
Constantly in the house. And then you get another person who enters the house who is a thief. And then you have these three people literally sitting in the living room looking at each other thinking, what on earth is going on and who is the true culprit, if there is one.
Yeah.
If
we don't
there
even
is
know
one, yeah.
we don't even know if there's a culprit. We don't even know what's happened. We don't even know if none of these people could be the serial killer.
I just want to add, there is actually a fourth character in the movie.
The dog?
The cat.
The cat.
Oh, it was the cat. Sorry.
It's a cat. There's a cat.
There is.
But I don't think you should give anything else away. I think people should watch the movie.
Yeah, it's one of those films that I know it's got a bit of a cult status in India now. But I don't know if many people, like, for example, we never saw it at the cinema in the United Kingdom. I don't think it had a big release here. I don't think it released, elsewhere outside of India. Yeah. And even in India, a lot of people didn't watch it at the cinema. So if you've not watched it yet, watch it if you've got, but watch it in a group maybe if you're a little bit scared.
A little bit jumpy,
yes,
maybe.
That'd be me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so moving on now, my recommendation that I'm going to give you guys is a hidden gem that not many people have even heard of. It's a fantastic film. I think it won an Oscar or two, I believe, but still not many people know about this film, and I've stumbled across it. And it's an amazing film called The Green Book. Okay, the green, like the colour green book. It is amazing. If you've not seen it, please watch it. It's basically about this man. He's a black man in America, and it's not set right now. It's set, a few decades ago. And how he's a musician, and he has to go on tour across the country. And he employs a driver to take him, who's a white man. And it's about how these guys go across the country by car, by road. They stay in some places. The man performs in a few places. And it's basically about how black people would have been treated at that time. And how they had this thing called a green book, which was essentially your guide for black people, a guide as to how they're supposed to behave in certain situations and places. Yeah.
Wow.
Even though it sounds like it'd be something that would be a bit negative, and it probably has like bad stuff. It has some bad stuff, but all in all, it's a feel-good film.
Yeah.
The end of it was like a big hug. I love this film. And again, it is one that made me cry.
It made me cry too.
I am coming across the crier in this podcast. I'm really not that bad, but this film, it jerked the tears out my eyes like really bad.
It took me by surprise when you recommended it to me. So I was traveling back, a work event I had to go to. So I was on a train and I was so engrossed in it. I didn't even realise that when I was being asked for my ticket, I was so engrossed in it. I was transported into that world, and I thought it was so well made and so well acted. The acting was amazing.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. Yeah, it's a fantastic film. I think everybody should watch it if you haven't watched it. I know lots of people have not even heard of it. So if this is the first time you're hearing the name, then I would say the next thing you put on your TV should be The Green Book. It's really, really, really good, and it'll make you feel good by the end of it as well. Having said that, I do have an honourable mention that I just want to say, because I don't want to do a podcast about films and not say Andaz Apna.
Yay!
That's all. I don't need to say anything else. This, I think, pips Home Alone to the most quotable film, because we
Yeah.
quote Andaz Apna all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
All the time.
Okay? It's constant. Yeah, all three of us, I think, we all
Yeah.
know the dialogues of the film. We love
Yeah.
the film. And, just recently it was re-released in Mumbai, and I actually got to watch the movie in the
Oh my
cinema
God.
with all these people who were fanatics just as I was. And it was so wholesome, because there were people sitting around with their kids, and there must have been people my age with their kids, and they're like literally saying, oh, now this is going to happen, now that's going to happen, and the parents were as excited as I was, and it was so wholesome. And the best thing about the film is that nowadays what is happening is that Hindi comedies tend to have this kind of angle to it that can be a little sexual and not appropriate for children. Now, the beauty of the Andaz Apna Apna is that it is perfectly fine for all ages, and it's great and it's amazing. So anyway, honourable mention. Moving on. Go on, Shruti.
I'm waiting for my kids to be able to read subtitles fluently to show them that film. But even then, I'm not sure if they'll. I think you've got to be of that mindset to understand it as well. You've got to be able to get half the comedy. But yeah, I love the film.
Mine is another one that Shruti Didi introduced me to. So well done, Shruti Didi, for encouraging my love for movies. It is one that she found on Amazon, I believe. It might have just been released there rather than in cinemas. I'm not sure. But I had never heard of it. Did you?
Yeah, it was released in cinemas, but so I heard about this film off the podcast, which was just basically saying that there's certain films like hidden gems that you must watch.
How ironic.
And so I watched it because I saw it on Amazon.
So this movie is called Thumber, and it's really interesting. I don't even know what category to put it into. It's like suspense, thriller, horror. It's just one of those ones again. But essentially it is this really interesting thing about some like demon child that was given birth to by some kind of devi or goddess in India. And there was this family who decided to build a shrine for this creature, monster, demon thing. And his being essentially was that he had been punished because he was so greedy and so wanting for money that he was kind of cursed in a way, that he would never have any food. Like all the money, all the wealth would kind of go to him, but he would never be able to have access to food. So in building this shrine, there was kind of like this, they had to kind of trick him in order to get treasures off of him. And this is kind of how the family gained their wealth. They basically had to go into the shrine where he was, and they would have to offer him food to distract him, and then steal a golden coin from his pouch that he carried on him. And it was kind of then like a game of tig, like that you had to then get out of the shrine, which was like a really difficult way to get out of it. They had to like climb out before he finishes food, because then he would then chase them, and if he ends up touching them, then they would get cursed really badly, in the sense that they would not be in like a human form anymore. It was quite strange. But the entire family lineage ended up being part of this. And it was kind of something that, because of the cursings, some members of the family were like, we're not going to do this anymore, we're going to hide this from our kids. But they would then find out, and they would, kind of do this thing. I don't even know if I'm explaining this in a very good way, but it's really cool. It is honestly really, really cool. There's a lot going on within it. It talks a lot about social issues as well. There's a lot of things going on the sidelines, along with this, storyline of greed and how much people can become obsessed with it. Because that's essentially what the climax of the movie is how greed can really just ruin you. And it's a really important message. But like I said, along the lines, there's so many other things. There's like family issues, there's social issues, there's just a lot going on that it does. And I wouldn't say that it's a joyous movie to watch, but it's a really good one if you want to just sit down and watch something a bit meaningful. It's a good.
It's thought provoking for sure.
It's definitely it's really thought provoking.
Yeah,
it's got a lot to it. It's a good one.
There's a part 2 coming as well, isn't there?
I can't wait.
Didn't know that.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there is part 2.
What franchises?
And
Here we
also,
go. There's more.
I don't think I don't think you can talk Dumbo without talking about the cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's shot
Beautiful.
exquisitely. It's
Yeah.
really amazing. It's shot really very well.
Yeah.
It was
Even
a
though it's
labour
quite
of love.
dark and
Yeah.
even though it's quite dark and dingy, it's still shot really well. So even though the budget was really constrained and whatever, they've not compromised on the frames that they've got.
No,
So
it's
yeah,
really artistic, isn't it? The way that it's
Yeah,
made.
it
Like,
took them years to make it as well
oh,
because they were
really?
waiting for that certain kind of weather. And they needed it to be shot in that
Oh,
particular kind
yeah.
of weather, and it took them absolutely I think it took them like about 4 years to actually
Okay.
get all those shots.
Wow.
So it was a true labour of love, and I think it's really inspiring how they ended up doing it with such little budget.
It was really cool. It's a really cool movie.
because
Yeah,
we love our movies.
We love our movies
we
so
do.
much. We
We
should have
love
got
our
some popcorn to
movies.
snack on during this.
Again, could have several parts to it. We could go on talking forever on
We
this
could go on.
topic.
This is like our movie club. Like other people have book clubs, we have movie clubs. So kindly, please do watch some of the movies that we've spoken about. If you haven't already, leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you watch any of them, let us know what you think. If you've already seen some of them, let us know your opinions.
If you want to recommend us some, let us know, because
Yeah.
we just need a
We
reason.
really want to watch some new
Just
stuff.
give us
Yeah,
a reason to watch another.
yeah.
Yeah,
we need.
please do. But like a request to everybody, because we can see everyone who's not, we can't see the people, but we can see that people are viewing our content. So please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and share. We're still growing, we're still new, so we've got a long way to go. Leave us a comment, leave us a like, leave us a share, leave us a, what did I miss out?
Subscribe.
Whatever. See, we're new at this. I even forget what I'm supposed to be asking for, but please kindly do it. Talk to us.
Natter back to us.
Yeah, Natter back. Exactly. Because we need Natter.
We do need an answer. Bye bye, everybody.
See you later, alligator.
Over and out.